Hello, and welcome to Simple English Talks podcast, the place where you learn real English through calm, beautiful stories. Tonight's story is one of the most loved stories in the world. It's called The Little Prince. It's about a small boy from another planet who travels across the universe to learn about love, friendship, and what truly matters in life. So find a quiet place, take a deep breath, and relax. Let the words take you on a gentle journey through the stars. This is The Little Prince, retold in simple English just for you.
Dream soft, dream deep, learn English in your sleep. Every night a gentle talk with Simple English Talks podcast.
A long time ago, a pilot was flying his airplane over the Sahara Desert. Suddenly, something went wrong. The engine stopped working. The plane began to fall slowly through the hot air. The pilot tried everything he could, but it was no use. Finally, he landed in the middle of the desert, far away from any people or villages. He was all alone. No water, no food, no help. He had only one hope: to fix his airplane before he ran out of water. That night, he lay on the sand, looking up at the bright stars, feeling small and tired. But the next morning, something strange happened. A small voice woke him up. "Please, draw me a sheep," the voice said. The pilot opened his eyes. In front of him stood a little boy with golden hair, curious eyes, and a long scarf that danced in the wind. He wasn't afraid at all. He looked calm, almost magical. The pilot was too surprised to speak. Uh, a sheep?" he asked. "Yes," said the boy softly. "Please draw me a sheep." The pilot took out his notebook and drew one, but the boy shook his head. "No, no, this one is too old." So the pilot drew another. The boy smiled politely but said, "This one is too big." Finally, the pilot drew a small box and said, "This is your sheep." It's inside the box. The little boy's eyes lit up. "That's perfect," he said with joy. He finally smiled, a smile so pure that it made the pilot forget how tired and thirsty he was. That was how they met, the pilot and the little prince. As the days passed, while the pilot worked to repair his airplane, the little prince told him stories, stories about his home planet, a tiny world no bigger than a house, with only 3 volcanoes and one special flower. The flower was beautiful and proud. She had soft petals and a lovely smell, but she always wanted attention. "I'm unique," she would say, "and you must protect me from the wind and the cold. The little prince loved her very much, but sometimes she made him sad with her vanity and her words. So one day, he decided to leave his planet and travel to learn about life. He visited many other planets. On one planet, there was a lonely king who had no one to rule. On another, a man who wanted everyone to admire him. On another, a businessman who spent all his days counting stars. He wanted to own them. And on one small planet, a lamplighter who turned a streetlight on and off every minute because his planet turned too fast. The little prince listened to them all, and slowly he realized that adults were very strange creatures. They always thought about numbers, work, and power, but not about beauty, love, or friendship. As the pilot and the little prince spent more days together in the desert, the boy began to tell more stories about his travels through the universe. One of the most beautiful stories he told was about the fox. One morning, when the little prince was walking through a golden field, he saw something move among the tall grass. At first, he thought it was the wind, but then two small brown ears appeared. It was a fox. "Good morning," said the little prince politely. "Good morning," said the fox. "Who are you?" asked the prince. "I'm a fox," the animal answered. "Come and play with me." The little prince smiled. "I would love to play," he said, "but I'm not sure how." "You look wild." The fox nodded. "Yes, I am wild now. You haven't tamed me." "Tamed?" asked the prince. "What does that mean?" The fox explained. To tame means to create ties, to become important to someone. If you tame me, we will need each other. You will be the only boy in the world for me, and I will be the only fox in the world for you. The little prince thought about it for a moment. He had met many people on other planets, but none of them had ever talked about something like this. So he said, "Please, tame me." And so the little prince began to visit the fox every day. At first, he sat far away, just watching. Then each day he came a little closer. They didn't speak much. They simply spent time together. The prince learned that friendship is made slowly, not with words, but with patience and care. After some days, the fox said, "Now, when I hear your footsteps, I will know it's you. Your footsteps will call me out of my hole, like music that makes my heart dance." The little prince smiled. He had never felt so connected to anyone before, but soon it was time for him to leave. The little prince felt sad. "Goodbye," he said softly. "Goodbye," said the fox. "But before you go, here's my secret. He looked at the prince with kind eyes and whispered, "It is only with the heart that one can see clearly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." The prince repeated quietly, "What is essential is invisible to the eye." "Yes," said the fox, "people have forgotten this truth, but you must always remember it. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. You are responsible for your rose." The little prince's eyes filled with tears. He finally understood what his flower meant to him, why he missed her, and why her small words hurt him so deeply. It wasn't pride or beauty that made her special. It was the love he had given her. After telling this story, the little prince looked at the pilot. "I think my flower is waiting for me," he said softly. "She needs me, and I need her." The pilot smiled. He didn't say anything, but he felt something warm inside his heart. He remembered the people he loved, the things he had forgotten while living a busy life. That little boy from a tiny planet had taught him what it really means to care for someone. That night, the sky was full of stars. The little prince looked up and said, "When you look at the stars, remember me. For you, they will all laugh, because on one of them I am laughing too." The pilot didn't fully understand, but he knew he would never forget the little prince's smile. It was the kind of smile that stays in your heart forever, like a quiet light that never fades. It is only with the heart that one can see clearly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Thank you for listening to Simple English Talks podcast. I hope tonight's story, The Little Prince, helped you relax and reminded you of the things that truly matter: love, kindness, and connection. Remember, the most beautiful things in life cannot be seen with the eyes. They can only be felt with the heart. If you enjoyed this episode, listen again tomorrow night for another calm and simple story in English. Until then, sleep well, dream softly, and never stop learning.